This is a quick note to all of our listeners that this podcast has been done without any edits whatsoever except for the music that is therefore contained. So, quick warning, there may be offensive content and at moments we may drone on. However, we think that you will enjoy it, so thanks for listening and I hope you enjoy the KAS Podcast.
Now I face up, I hold up, I reach out to the truth of all our sicknesses, oh the whole moment.
Okay, welcome everybody.
You're not on the camera as much as everybody else.
This is the KAS Podcast. This is going to be our first official release. So with that being said, let's just get this over with. Here we go. Theme song. Okay, let's start. So, what's up, guys? Anybody want to introduce themselves for this beginning part, since no one really knows us yet? And then, Patrick, you want to start this off? Introduce yourself, man. Introduce yourself! What kind of podcast is this? Okay, this is...
Alright, fine. You know, he's not really part of the KAS group anyway, so he don't really matter. He's just...
I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, I'm Paul from the Southern Baptist Ministries. I'd like to talk to you about Jesus today. Alright.
Okay, I'll start us off. I'm Kiyosho1902. My real name's Christopher Swain, and I like video games, man. I'm a nerd.
I'm the Pharaoh's Armada, Caleb. I ain't telling you my last name.
It's Kendrick.
Shut up!
I'm Klaatu Varada Nikto. My real name is Klaatu Varada Nikto. Klaatu Varada Nikto.
Oh, yeah. And that's really his real name.
Name's
Right.
Patrick.
Dude,
Star.
shut up. That is not his name.
Patrick Star.
He's a star. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, we could start off with the most obvious thing, the title of this podcast, Game of the Year. So 2011's coming past, and we're really late in recording this podcast, and we're still being lazy about it, apparently. So, well, let's do this. What is your Game of the Year, Caleb? And
Mine is... Stop flipping off the camera! My Game of the Year would be Batman Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum?
Yes.
Asylum.
Asylum. I meant City. Arkham City.
Arkham City.
Yes, Batman Arkham City.
You got any reasons for this? I mean, because, like, did you enjoy Arkham Asylum?
Asylum was really good. Like I'm not much of a DC fan, but they really brought out the best in Batman, and what they did with Arkham City was just like 10 times better from Asylum. So
Yeah, because I played Asylum too. I remember we played together. We played it through like half the game in one night, and the entire time we were playing it, we were trying to find all these secrets and get all these new things because, well, let's face it, Batman's fucking awesome. So I was playing it, enjoying the crap out of it. I liked how every character fits exactly the way they should into the universe. They never feel unnatural. By the way, that sound is Patrick over here playing guitar.
They can't hear you.
stupidly.
They can't hear you.
You don't know that.
But, so we were playing, we played Batman Arkham Asylum that night, and there was a lot of cool action scenes, but the boss fight sucked. So the game's problem was that you would go through all these really cool fights, and then you get to the boss fight, and it would just let you down completely. You wouldn't even enjoy it. And the combat would sometimes be screwy. There weren't enough true action sequences to keep the game going.
Like at the end, the Joker fight, it's just like, I'll never let you win, Joker. And he puts like the clay dynamite, claymore stuff on his fist, and this is boom. And like, how did that not just blow up Joker's face?
I concur.
Or Batman's hand.
That too. Well, no. He's Batman.
Oh yeah, he's the goddamn Batman.
He's Batman.
Yeah, he's Batman. And so what Arkham City essentially does is gives you, I'll just keep it simple, gives you a wide open world. And with this wide open world, now the game feels much more like it's complete. Like it's not just a segment of this entire universe. But beyond that, the combat has been changed dramatically. It's essentially the same thing. It's that Assassin's Creed style free flow combat, but now you have all your gadgets. They all have different attacks. You can shoot little laser beams at people. You can dodge swords, and there's really nothing that can stop you because you're Batman.
I mean, come on. In the beginning of the game, you get arrested, you're in jail, and you kick ass in handcuffs. How can it get any better than that?
Patrick's just sitting there. He didn't even play these games. Just like, what?
And there's that one scene where you finally catch the Joker, and, you know, of course you...
Shut up! You don't ever catch Joker! You're not contributing!
Dude, you catch him, you pull out your knives, go, come on, boy, I want you scared like a piggy. Squeal for me now. Come on, squeal for me. You know, he rapes
That's what Joker does. He
Rapes.
squeals like a pig.
No,
He rapes him repeatedly.
By the way, spoiler alert, that's the end of Arkham City.
no, instead of a pig, it's cats.
Yeah, it's cats. Like, meow, meow. But, yeah, so they do all that. And to top it all off, this game's ending, which none of y'all have seen, is the best thing ever. And it's not Joker getting raped. So, let's make that known. That being said, Batman Arkham City was also my game of the year, and I really enjoyed it. And it's just... What else can I say about it? There's a lot I could say, but there are other games we have to talk about. So let's get on to our next one. Patrick's game of the year.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Well, if you thought Oblivion was the game of the year it came out, which most people did, then if you had some inflation rate of the quality of the games, it went even past that. Skyrim did. It improved on every single way. It improved in every single way they could. And, yeah. Improved every single way it could. It was fucking awesome. You should play it.
Have you
Or
gotten
probably
to
had, because everyone fucking has, pretty much, except for him. And you.
Yeah.
I've played it once.
Well, have you gotten to that point where the game kind of glitches up
Nope,
after?
the game's not glitch up. I have an Xbox 360 and not a PlayStation 3. But yeah, besides that, the only things that are bad are it glitches up sometimes, and what else? There's one thing. Oh yeah, the facial textures, the graphics of the actual people themselves are still a little bit shitty, but everything else is good.
Since, you know, we don't have as much knowledge, what about the quest system? Like, I've heard a lot of complaints about how quests feel like they're not as
Made for you as they originally were told.
Yeah, they feel like they're really just side quests in this big major thing. Like they don't.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of quests where it feels like, most quests don't give a shit about the story, and it doesn't try to really make you do that much. It's just something to do, and it's really trite, a lot of the things. But I mean, there's still enough variety to have fun.
Yeah, I had a friend who said it was pretty much like, you just saved the world. Now we'll never speak of it again, my friend. And I've used that a lot, but that's what I keep hearing, so.
I mean, I used to hear that, but my hearing's kind of gone since I took an arrow to the knee.
To the knee?
Yeah, this is my hearing most. I still walk fine, though.
Freaking internet memes. Okay, I guess, is that really all you have to say about Skyrim? Because I could say quite a bit more.
Fushrota!
No, stop it.
Oh.
Stop.
There's something different, wasn't it?
I like the new skill tree.
Oh yeah, the skill tree thing is really fucking awesome.
I mean, Oblivion's main problem is you level up each skill individually, and you never really feel like you've done much. I mean, you really are a lot stronger by the end of the game, but you never feel like you've gotten a lot stronger.
No, okay, one thing that I really love about Skyrim that they didn't do in Oblivion was, like, if you were to have already gone to, like, a dungeon or a cave or something, and were to fought those people in Oblivion, every single character in the world is, like, leveling up with you, so it kind of loses the effect that you're so much more powerful. Because then, like, every single person has, like, a fucking dragon weapon or whatever, Daedric, whatever the fuck it is. But on this one, on Skyrim, you can go back to a place you were before, and now the people they're exactly the same as when you first arrived there. So if they had iron weapons the first time they were there, and now you're, like, a level 30 or something, you have Daedric weapons, now they still have the same fucking weapons, and you have your Daedric weapons, so you kill them extremely easily. Or kill them with your magic or whatever.
Fushrota?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also awesome to shout. Shouts are really cool.
Yeah,
It's the only reason to play the main story.
that being said, you can still turn up and down the difficulty. right?
Yeah, I never do.
Yeah, no, you
Keep
should.
it on what it's set on, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So Skyrim, open world, it looks cooler, but I mean, there's one thing I have a complaint about, and I'm thinking you might too.
Fine.
Not playing as a Nord is pretty much pointless.
I'm playing as a Briton.
I mean, yeah, Breton, sorry. If you're not playing as a Breton, you don't fit into the world at all.
No, it's a Nord world.
Oh, yeah, if you're not a
You're
Nord.
talking about right the first time, just wrong also.
Yeah, I pronounced it wrong.
I mean, like an Englishman.
Like a Welshman. Oh, wait, there it goes, it went off.
I feel like watching Animal Planet.
Could you see Newt?
Well, I saw Newt, and now I'm seeing a koala bear on the right and a cheetah on the left.
No. Lower quality.
And also, there's a thing about horses.
Fine.
There's a movie.
What'd you put on?
Fine quality. Because it said it was going to mess up the speed.
Fine,
Did
yeah,
it that way too
of
long. But I have it recorded on there.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're not playing as a Nord, it just feels like you don't fit into the world at all. Like, everybody's always shouting, "Power to the Nords!" and "We're the Nords, we're really powerful," and all that. And
I didn't notice anything like that.
that's what I felt.
I'm fine being a
But in the main quest, I felt that way, is what I'm really saying.
it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and being a werewolf is awesome, too.
Yes.
Don't know about vampires. I didn't like being them in the previous games.
Unless you are really into it, and unless you only want to play at night, mostly really, really go with the vampire thing, it's not worth it at all. Unless you really, really like it. It changes the way you play completely. Unless you are only playing to be a vampire, pretty much. It's not worth it at all, because you'll fuck up every single other thing that's not vampire-ish.
Okay, and did dragons make that much of a difference?
I mean, yeah, to some extent, but I mean, it's not the main reason why anyone should play it.
Okay. So, there we go. Next, we got 2 more games on this list. Dang. Okay, Portal 2.
I played the first one, that was good.
Did anybody play Portal 2?
Nope.
Okay, I'll just tell you simply what I know from playing it. It was fun. I couldn't say... I didn't play...
the same character?
Apparently.
That woman?
Yeah, you're still the woman from the first game.
I thought it was someone else the first time I saw it. Remember at the beginning, like, you can, like, see yourself?
Yeah.
Or when you shoot the portal, and you see yourself in the portal or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I thought it was, like, another person. I was like, oh, wait, they're moving with me? Oh, we'll get something going on. No. Yeah.
I played a very small amount of Portal 2, so I don't really want to talk about it. I'm just going to give you my thoughts from that one moment. It's what Portal 1 should have been, but at the same time, it takes a dump on Portal 1 by pretty much saying the ending to Portal 1 never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The cake thing.
The cake thing?
The cake's a lie.
That's Super Mario 64.
Cake.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64. What?
You don't know where that meme originated from?
No.
When you finish Super Mario 64, the princess says, "Thank you for saving me, Mario. Now I'm going to invite you back to the castle for some cake."
And you never get any cake?
You never get in. No, but she's actually saying she wants to have sex with you. You can have some cake.
I didn't get it. I just knew about it on Portal.
Well, anyway.
I played Mario, but I guess I never finished it.
Well, anyway, nobody gets it, so you're not in the minority. Yeah, they do say that line in the game. But yes, the ending in Portal 1 never happened, and that just kind of made me angry.
Uh-huh.
And last game, and this was Daniel's game of the year, but he's not here for this podcast today.
Yeah, he's raping some white women.
By the way, that's a racist joke. He's a black guy. For
No,
those
he's
who
not.
haven't seen his bio
He's
show.
not.
But he wears glasses, so he's not that
black.
threatening.
Yeah, he's not a threatening black man.
He's not black. He's white.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. What are you
He's
talking
my
about?
son. My son. Why would my son be black?
You had sex with a black woman?
No, it makes no sense. Why would I have sex with a black woman? I don't like bestiality.
Oh, that's messed up.
I'm pretty sure I have sex with white women only.
Dude,
That's how you can see
everyone,
He gets a lot of sun. He's very
everyone,
active
he's
boy.
high. Just ignore him.
I'm not high.
Anyway, his game of the year was Saints Row the Third. And
Of
just
course.
of course.
This is white.
Okay. Anyway, I just finished Saints Row 2, so I can simply tell you this: Saints Row the Third is what Saints Row 2 would have been if it would have just pretty much said, "Screw story. Who needs story? Here's a bunch of awesome shit." It's like if Michael Bay made a movie, but it wasn't Transformers, but it had all the explosions of Transformers, and it had all the machines of Transformers, but it was good. That's what Saints Row the Third is.
So it's the trailer for Transformers.
It was the trailer for Transformers, the first one, not the shitty one.
Look, I can't add
They're
much
all
on to
shitty.
Saints Row, but I will admit it is fun. But I've only played like part of Saints Row 2, and the only thing I did I was just screwing around with a bunch of my friends. We blew up a guy who was wearing a blue cup suit. Blue cup suit. Stop it! You know what? Screw you, Patrick. I'm not finishing this story.
No, blue cup suit.
Okay, blue cup suit. Yeah, blew him up. And then I accidentally ran into a pimp, and then he shot me with his cane.
He shot you with that cane, right?
Yeah. Yes, he did. No matter how far I went, he just kept going and shooting me.
With his cane. So he got you with his cane.
All over his face.
Ass.
But yeah, you're right. And by the way, you can pick those canes up and shoot them yourself.
No.
Read a book. The Hunger Games series is very good.
Wow, we could have added that to our subject.
And the Dragon Tattoo series.
The Millennium series.
Yeah.
Series.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay. Okay, so Saints Row the Third. What else can I say about it? Why should you buy it? You get a freaking hovercraft. I mean, and I'm not talking about like hovercraft, like it goes on water and on land. I mean a freaking flying little car thing. It's like that thing that San Andreas wanted to have but never had. So
And plus, customization is amazing.
And if you live in Iraq, you get the Iraq version of the hovercraft. You get the fucking carpet that flies and stuff, you know? That's the Iraq version. Also in the Iraq version, there's no women, because, you gotta cover everything up. Well, there's women, but you can't exactly tell. Like, they have the little things on, what are they called, burqas.
Yeah.
But you can't tell, because a lot of them, they have women in the eyes, so you go to rape a woman like you would do in Iraq every day, And you see one owl and you see a little bit of ankle showing, you gotta rape her. So you go in for it, but then you find it's a guy. Because apparently they've put a lot of guys in these dresses to confuse. It's a long story. You gotta live there to understand.
Yeah, and another thing about it is that you're always in streaking mode and you're extremely hairy. And, yeah, it's impossible to win because every time you go to attack an enemy, you just like commit jihad and die.
Yeah, and every time you go and bomb some people or you go and steal some possessions and bring it back to the Master Newt Gingrich, then he still eats your children. He promises you beforehand that they'll become janitors and they'll have jobs, and you come back and it's like, where's my kid? Is he cleaning the toilet? And it's like, No, where's my kid? Is he cleaning your toilet or something? No, he's in the toilet. He's cleaning around? No, I flushed. What? So that's pretty much how it is.
No one's going to get that joke.
Okay, Newt Gingrich ate the children and he flushed them in the toilet because he shit them out. Shit, that's mixed word shit and shat.
That's a Swedish
Shit,
fairy
shat.
tale. That's a Swedish fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess we're done with that. Game of the year. So now, most anticipated games of 2012. We're going into 2012. Let's talk about games first before we get to anything else. What is your most anticipated game of the year, Caleb?
Mine would probably be Street Fighter X Tekken.
A reason? Because that's a good choice.
Well, most of the reason is just because I've always loved the fighting series of Tekken and Street Fighter, and just having two great games, finally combined together, it just looks awesome. I mean, though it probably won't be as good as King of Fighters, but still, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm just confused. Is it going to take place? I know it's the Street Fighter gameplay, right?
Right.
Is it going to be the Street Fighter canon, or is this game just going to be non-canonical? Because that's a stupid question. It really doesn't matter at all, but I'm still curious about it.
Well, one thing I'm kind of afraid of is if it's just going to be like one of them games like Marvel vs. Capcom. There's no real story to it. It's just the fun of fighting. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but just with Street Fighter and Tekken, I think there should be some kind of story.
I think the good thing is that you did mention a good one, Marvel vs. Capcom. The last crossover game I played was DC versus
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, DC versus Mortal Kombat. I hated that game. If you're going to make a Mortal Kombat game, have fatalities. And if this game doesn't have juggles, then I don't know why I'm playing Tekken characters. But so far, I've seen some juggles, so good job there. Anything else you think will be good about this game?
No. Except all the characters just look bulky.
Even it's like
That's good.
It's like I always wanted my Tekken female characters to have big Chun-Li legs.
And square breasts.
Yeah.
Square breast, man.
Okay, I guess I'll have to be a douchebag and go with the Undisputed 3 UFC game.
Oh wow, that was not what you said pre-show.
I know. Because it's a great, party game, great game to play, just like a friends. You beat the fuck out of each other. And it's more realistic, and because it's just fun to see two people fight.
Hopefully, they don't do that thing from the first UFC Undisputed game, where you hit the enemy. Like, I don't know if y'all...
Where you can't hit when you're being hit.
No,
That's
not just that, but every time you would knock out your opponent, you would have a really bad kick to the face, like you wouldn't even touch your opponent.
Yeah, they'd have the ones that knock them out would be the ones that are like it hit their lips or something, like the toes hit the lips or hit right in front, and they'd knock out all of a sudden. That could have just been the demo though.
But in the replay, this is the worst part. In the replay, it's like you hit on perfectly square in the face.
Yeah, the replays were never matching up perfectly with, or near perfect with the actual knockout blow. And there wasn't enough ways to finish an opponent. There's too many glitch things. So that was the first one. Then they released the second one, which was pretty much the same thing with more characters, and they mixed up the controls a little bit and made it shittier. The third one, they put a lot more time into it. It has a lot more characters. Some of them, they're not the best graphics-wise, but yeah. Oh yeah, and John Jones Bird had that fucking Bible tattoo on his leg.
Hey,
Philippians.
Speaking of which, did you play the MMA game?
No, but I heard about it.
That was a shitty game.
They're pissed about that too. It was EA Games who made it, right?
It was horrible. I mean, no, it was a fun little party game. I won't deny that. Was it an MMA game? Not at all.
EA Sports.
No,
It's in the game.
No, the best one, since Caleb just said EA Games, the best one was EA Big. Is that even still a company? Do they even still have that
I think
studio?
so.
Has
I'm not
EA
sure.
Big made any games in the past 5 years?
I have no idea.
I can't do it. I don't have a deep voice. Well, I have to have two choices here, just because I'm kind of a douche. The first one is Final Fantasy 13-2, and this can't be an upcoming game because it comes out in 8 days. Woo! On the 31st of January, and this is going to be up on the 22nd, so it's just not a big enough difference. And I'm excited about Final Fantasy 13-2. Me and Caleb did a podcast on this, and ultimately the audio screwed up and we didn't get to post it. So I'll just keep it kind of simple because I don't want to talk about it again. Final Fantasy 13-2.
I'm sorry, I'm not too loud.
You're not too loud, but just a little bit lower. Final Fantasy 13-2's greatest thing is essentially Final Fantasy 13 was linear up until Grand Pulse. Final Fantasy 13-2 isn't linear for at all. It's it's the exact opposite of linear. You can go to areas at different time periods.
Exact opposite of linear.
Yeah, because you can. No, not, it's still a JRPG. So you're still trying to get to the final boss, but you can go to any area you want from the very start of the game, almost essentially. I mean, as long as the story goes that way too. But not only can you explore the entire world, you can also go through time and explore the world at a different time period and see how it's changed over time, which is great. But sometimes this is stupid. I'm going to the exact same place at the exact same time of the year, but it's a different year, and now suddenly it's snowy. I'm sorry, but if it's the middle of June and it's snowing one year and it's not snowing in the middle of June another year and it's a perfectly sunny beach, I'm a little bit confused about how that works.
You just farted, didn't you?
No, I'm cutting that out of the podcast. So Final Fantasy 13-2.
Sorry, I have a very wide vagina. It just flutters in the breeze and stuff. By breeze, I mean the constant quaking that's happening. You only hear some of it. Continue.
Thank you. Final Fantasy 13-2 is...
It's more like a wet fart with him.
Dude, you can't talk about my fucking vagina. Only I can talk about my vagina because I have one.
And how dare you insult it by calling it wet?
Yeah.
Well, I had pizza.
Final Fantasy 13-2. Okay, why I'm excited about it is essentially I'm in love with lightning. And that's because of Maya Sakamoto. And not the point I can't wait to see another Final Fantasy 13 game, and I didn't hate it, so there you go.
And your other one?
And my other one is one that we're all we all think looks pretty cool. I don't know if anybody else is excited about it, considering it's still pretty far off. It won't be out to the end of this year. But Resident Evil 6. The trailer came out pretty recently, and to keep it simple, there was a trailer for a movie that came out a while back, and it showed Leon run into Chris in the middle of this war-torn city. Now, I don't know if that movie's still being made or not, but I do know that this game is that exact same plot line, but in a game. So it's basically Leon and Chris meet each other in this city that's infested by BOWs, and so they go out to try to destroy them. And I don't know, I think that that's great. There are a couple improvements. You can walk while shooting. You can roll and kind of like slide and shoot. There's a new melee combat system that's even better than the originals. And there's also a group of characters, 2 new ones. So you actually have 3 groups going through 3 different campaigns at the same time. And the logo looks like a zebra getting sucked off by a stripper. So, anybody else got a comment about that game that made it look cool?
There's zombies.
Zombies are always
that
cool.
That was really unexpected, and that was awesome.
Yeah, it's like, when I saw zombies, I was like, oh my god, spoiler!
Yeah, that pissed me off, because, like, I don't want to be spoiled for me. I want to, like, not know what's coming. Oh, well.
Yeah, I didn't want to know that there were zombies in a Resident Evil game. I thought this was going to be the one where the city finally goes back to normal and Leon has to become a cop and just kill a bunch of minorities.
But in the first 4, he's making the cakes to taunt Mario with. And then somehow we go to zombies. In the 5th one, well, they're not real zombies. They're really just Africans who, you get a skin disease by living there. Besides the skin disease of being black, they get another skin disease of being decaying a little bit, but kind of crazy looking. So basically, they're all from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
If you survive from there, you're a fucking hideous freak of nature monster.
I actually figured this out.
Cardio.
Resident Evil 5 was really just about, the zombies were really just people who were uncircumcised, because they were all Mexican and black. So.
Weren't Mexican people circumcised? Because most of them are Catholic?
Nope, no.
What?
Poor neighborhoods.
Oh.
Can't afford this. Yeah.
Can't afford circumcision.
Yeah, you had to pay for circumcision. You didn't know that?
Fucking doctor did mine after born.
Oh. Well, anyway.
I missed part of my dick.
They all get AIDS. So that was the plot of
It's
Resident
like
Evil 5.
cutting the hoodie off someone's hoodie. It's just like...
That's me like cutting off my hoodie, man.
Damn it. Exactly. If I cut his hood off his hoodie, it's like...
So, yeah, Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 6 takes place in the city, which is great. But it does not look like a horror game. So, yeah, no horror elements. This is an action game through and through. And I don't think I got to let you finish, Caleb. Did you?
Oh, well, before he made his comment, what you mentioned about campaigns, like, do you think it'll be, like, all one, like, kind of story? Because it seemed like it split off, as he said, split off into 3 different groups. But, like, would it be, like, an all-in-one kind of thing? Or would it be, like, one of the earlier ones?
Where you would have to pick the campaign you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this. And here's why. Because this is actually the problem. I misspoke. There's not a single part in this trailer where we see Chris and Leon meet. Or the other group of characters. So I just have to assume that they meet at some point in their campaigns and then just split off. That being said, I'm pretty sure they'll have to play through their own campaigns because I don't know how safe... Like, the thing about Resident Evil is you have to save ammo. And if you're suddenly switching characters again, it's going to be very hard to conserve your ammo throughout each mission. So,
yeah.
That's what I think. So, anything else about Resident Evil 6 before we move on?
The 6 looks funny.
Yeah, I did mention that. Nothing? Patrick?
No.
You think the Anderson movies are better?
No, I think Paul W.S. Anderson is awful at making movies. And that he relies on big budgets and trite and empty stories and flat fucking characters to get across action movies and shit.
I admit
Sucks.
he uses flat characters, but Mortal Kombat having a big budget is shit, and you know it.
I'm talking about big budget for what actually happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Because like Aliens versus Predators, the first one, I mean, I guess because of some of those bigger shots. I mean, he could use miniatures. He did use miniatures, but he could use them more than he did. But point is, yeah, that movie could have made like $40 million, and it was made on 60, 70, 80. Those are a lot of fucking money.
You know, the thing is,
60 mil, I think.
Because I knew it would suck, I've never seen that movie.
I just think it could have made for a lot less money than that.
Yeah, never seen it.
They could have made that like 30 mil. Because I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah, never seen it, but we're getting off subject, so,
But the second one
And
worse.
it sucked dick. And the second one was like, it was so dark. And when I say dark, I mean like literally, it was fucking dark. I barely see shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
come on. Like they used that obviously because they had a lower budget, but they still had a budget of $35 million. They could have done so much with that, and I don't know where all this money is going. But
you know, I know the audience isn't going to get it, but that movie was so black, you could see Johnny in the background. He was actually more light than the actual darkness of the movie.
really,
Yeah.
shit.
But, okay, we got to get to our next subject. This one should go by pretty quickly. Let's talk about politics for a minute.
I'm out.
Okay. This will be me and you, Patrick. Let's make this quick. So, let's look through my notes real quick. My notes say that the first subject is about Newt Gingrich. We want to talk about Gingrich?
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
So basically, I mean, Newt pretty much brought this to mind. I mean, it's like one of those, you shook the bed so fucking much, so relax. You're kind of freaking me out over now.
Ouch, that was an
Deal
insult.
with it.
Sorry.
I know I'm fat, Patrick. God.
No, you don't know. I have to remind you. Alright.
It's like, I gotta be a dick about it. It's like, this is for teaching me how to fight, now I'm gonna kill you.
Alright, yeah, I pretty much feel like it's like one of those little fairy tale stories when you're little with like a twist to it, because pretty much it's like Gingrich and all these other Republicans, with the exception of Ron Paul. Ron Paul's like the sane one amongst them. But like it's like one of that little league of evil like monsters to team together in the forest to take down the good king and his kingdom. It's like, hey, let's get him. Yes, and like they're all like fucking teaming up together, and they want to replace him and be evil and institute new rules in the capital city and blah blah blah. And yeah, it's pretty much what it feels like. It feels like a little, but it's not a little twist to it. 'Cause they're all fighting each other for a chance to try to take down the good king. Like the forest people, like the Republicans, the people who aren't really living in
Isn't it
the
like,
real world.
is it really a tale about greed? It's like,
Yeah, that's
it's like we're all gonna team up to kill this monster. We're all gonna team up and kill this monster, but we all gonna kill each other to get the treasure, right?
the funny thing is, and now they said unprecedented things. The first three primaries for the Republicans all had different victors. They had, I think Santorum was first, then Romney, and now Gingrich. And it's all hilarious because pretty much what's going to happen is Romney, I mean, maybe Gingrich will get it, but most likely Romney's going to get it. And people are actually going to think for a small while he'll have a chance against Obama, but his tax records can definitely hurt him because he's a rich bastard. And the other thing that can hurt him is the Mormon thing, because Mormons are fucking crazy. Even to, the fuck are you doing?
Not doing nothing.
Even to Christians. The Christians, they think their shit doesn't stink, but then they smell Mitch shit, and they're like, God damn, dude.
That's
Can you
horrible.
cover that up? Can you put something on that? And then they take a shit like right in front. Like Ezra taking a shit right in front of squatting. Like, dude, can you cover that up? And it's like they're crapping like right in front of him.
He can't stain his magical underwear.
Yeah, he has
Oh,
magic underwear. And he believes in baptizing the dead, and that the red skin of Native Americans is a punishment from God, and
that's infuriating to me, who is Native American.
And what's infuriating to Caleb as a black person, I'm not saying the black is wearing a hood, is that they used to preach.
He's from the hood.
They used to preach that black people could not get into heaven, and then for a small while they preached that the only way to get into heaven as a black person is as a slave. Now they've stopped doing that for obvious reasons because we're in a more sane and reasonable age, and they can't say bullshit like that.
We're all crazy.
They still kill my people.
Yeah.
I hate my
Pretty
people.
much.
You have casinos. You're getting it back.
I
one
take
nickel at a time.
offense to that. I own no land.
You're getting land back one nickel at a time.
So penny slots. So, needless to say, we're all voting Ron Paul if we could vote.
I can vote.
I
I'm
can
18.
vote.
I can't vote. Sorry.
I'm 18. I'm voting for Obama or Ron Paul. No matters what it looks like at that point of the election.
I think the only problem for you would be is that if you voted for Ron Paul, you would have to sign Republican.
I don't care about that. What I care
No,
about.
but I mean, you would have to go registered Republican.
I don't care. No, you don't have to, do you?
Yeah, to vote for.
To vote for a Republican, you have to register as Republican.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That sounds retarded and not true.
That is how it's always been for my parents.
You have to register as a Republican. No,
I don't
that's
think you have to.
bullshit.
You have to register for the Republican voting session.
Someone comment on this and answer this question.
I highly doubt that. It doesn't matter. I'll do it at registering I need to do, but the only thing I would fear is if I did vote for Ron Paul and Obama lost to the Republican candidate, which will not be Ron Paul, it's going to be Newt or Mitt. So if one of them won against Obama and I had not voted for Obama, even though it would not be by one vote, I would be really angry because I want Obama to win. I know he's going to win, but yeah.
Oh, and this is 100% true right here. Daniel is for Santorum.
Really?
No, not at all.
I'm like, he must not know who it is. Oh, most people don't know who he is.
But you know he's a black man, so at first last election he was for Hillary.
If you want to know who he is, look up Santorum online. It'll be the first thing you get. Don't worry if it gives you a definition. That's what he is.
Oh man, the people who don't get it are gonna go look that up. So, hey, okay, so that's it for politics, right? Like,
Yes.
okay, so I guess our final thoughts, guys. Here's what we do at the end of each of our shows. We all ask one thing that can go into a very, very brief discussion. Very brief. I want to stress that. So, one thing that you could ask that could give like a few comments from us that you would just want to ask that you thought might be interesting. So, let's start with you, Pat. One small thing.
I don't understand quantum physics, and I really want to understand it.
So,
You don't know what quantum physics is?
well, Patrick, the first thing you have to understand.
Man, what is that movie called?
Economics.
No.
That is not different. I know.
God, crap.
I know what movie you're thinking about, and it is called Source Code.
Yes.
I've
That
never
movie
seen
has
it.
a lot to do with quantum physics.
I've never seen it.
It pretends to have to do with quantum physics, but yeah, it's steeped kind of in that.
My only understanding of it is that somebody experiencing something, I guess viewing, I feel like viewing is a horrible word for it, but somebody like experiencing or viewing something changes the outcome of it or defines the outcome of it. Because, Schrodinger's cat is pretty much my basis of understanding it, because in Schrodinger's cat, it's the paradox, where if you they did it with a bomb and with gas, but the gas one seemed better because you couldn't hear the noise of the bomb.
Yeah.
Like if you put a cat in a sealed off some type of box where nothing could escape it, no air, nothing could, and you had a thing that it had a 50% chance of setting off a gas that would kill the cat, and you put it in there and it's either going to go off in an hour or it won't go off. There's some time frame, so then you won't know if the cat's dead or alive until you open the box. So it said something about the cat exists in two states until the outcome's revealed, until you open the box.
Yeah, and you know what? That's
That's a quantum physics. Quantum physics, it's like things exist in more than one state at one time.
yeah, but yeah, that's quantum physics, and that's also the basis for the burden of proof. But
How do we get from talking about video games to quantum physics?
that's the
Because
question.
I want to know about it. I don't
Okay.
understand it.
Well, I'm going to put it in simple terms. Okay, there's this thing called relativity that Einstein came up with, or that he had a theory about. And granted, you can use gravity and other spatial understandings to try to figure this out. But essentially, the way I've always defined quantum physics is you can't understand space unless you actually. You can't really understand space, and space can exist in so many different forms, like in different dimensions. For example, we see things in 2 dimensions, yet we live in a 3-dimensional world, but yet there are 4-dimensional areas within our world. And we'll never be able to see it unless something from the 4th dimension appeared in front of us.
You mean like acid?
Anybody ever seen Flat Space? Is that what the book's called? Flat Space? Well, if you ever read that book, and I'll put a link to what it was really called. If you ever read that, it's pretty much my understanding of how quantum physics relates to science. As far as what quantum physics is specifically, I don't have the definition in front of me. I don't look it up.
Yeah.
It deals a lot with space, and I always just kind of relate it to black holes.
Space, the final frontier.
Oh, interesting thing about space. So here's my theory about everything. People talk about the Big Bang and they talk about where did it come from, and I know people who don't believe in the Big Bang and things like that, they like to say, oh, well, y'all are crazy, y'all say it comes from nothing. Then the people who believe in the Big Bang most of the time will say, oh, no one ever says that, that's crazy. And I'm pretty sure I've heard Stephen Hawking say that, and I do know there's a lot of people who do believe that it all came from nothing. It just spontaneously appeared. What I think is, everything's connected, of course. Everything affects everything, if you really think about it. So,
Butterfly effect.
yeah. I mean, one pattern that we see, like what we see in the human heart, a pulsating pattern. It's a pattern that we see in a lot of things. So something goes out and it comes in. So maybe that's what the universe is. Since the universe, we do know that it was at a central point at once, and then the explosion, people think it's like they think of fire, think of things being destroyed. But of course, if you know about real science, energy cannot be destroyed, and mass cannot be created nor destroyed.
What? Can I stop you?
1 second though. So it has to have always been here. So if it's expanding, then yes, it is expanding at a faster rate. But if it's expanding, maybe it expands and then eventually comes back together and expands. But it's just, we obviously cannot perceive that amount of time, because since the original expansion from a possible de-expansion, whatever the fuck it's called, we know that was about 14 billion years ago. So our perception of time is so much different. We think a long time is a certain amount of years, but that's like nothing compared to the time the Earth's been around, or the time that life's been around, or the time that especially the universe has been around.
So let me stop you real quick. What you are saying, your example of how it expanded, right? It's like a football. Is that what you said at once to me? It's like
Football.
Like a football. It kind of curves outward and then it kind of expands upon it.
Say
Yeah, you said that to me once.
maybe.
Yeah, you said it's like it kind of comes out like, you know how a football is shaped, right? It kind of
Mhm.
it starts out small and then it gets bigger, and suddenly it gets small again.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. I thought you were talking about I thought you meant the universe was that shape.
No.
I don't know, maybe.
No. But what I was ultimately getting at,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I did say that.
And the other thing I was wanting to
Yeah.
ask you
It's
about you
cycle.
thinking that is,
because everything has a cycle.
yeah, and
Pretty
one
much.
thing you didn't specify, but I know you implied it, was energy doesn't get destroyed, but it can be redistributed in a different form.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not destroyed. It's just somewhere else.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought that was understood.
Like some people don't even think of the fact. I have a bottle of water in my hand. They don't even think.
Where does it go? If it's not destroyed.
Like some people don't even think about this. I have a bottle of water in my hand.
There's a cup.
A couple.
A cup of water. I'm holding the cup and I'm looking at the cup of water. There is a lot of energy here. This is all energy, right? I mean, there's.
Oh, you mean because the gravity?
Yeah, and everything really. I can drink the water, and
Oh yeah, gravity's awesome. It affects everything. It's extremely important.
so.
Gravity.
But I don't believe in it because I'm a pastafarian.
That I like how you did the guitar. It's like, damn it, like that was.
And it's out of tune, so it makes it even worse.
I tried my best.
Okay.
I can't tune by ear at all.
So
you
we
did good.
failed at
Good
making
enough.
this brief, but let's try Caleb. Something real quick that you think can make a brief conversation. By the way, I like the science picture.
What do y'all think on like this whole thing of like 2012?
Oh god, that is something that can be brief and fast.
Bullshit. Okay, go.
Okay, I'll be a little less brief about it. Basically, if I got a calendar on my wall, I like to use real life examples. I'm just like our science teacher Baxter. Okay. I like
You're
that.
not speaking in third person.
Okay, I have a calendar on my wall. My calendar ends at December. I don't know when your calendar ends. My calendar ends
I
at
don't have a
December
calendar.
of 2012. No, actually, this is of 2010. The world didn't end at December of 2010. That doesn't mean that the world's going to end at December
Well, it's not
2010.
that. If you go ask the existing Mayan people, they'll say no. They say no. There's such thing as currently it's a Mayan princess. It's supposedly the last Mayan from royal family wanted to last, and she will tell you, just like any mind will tell you, no, the world is not end. It's not what that meant.
It's not at all.
And the thing is with the Mayan calendar, it's just a cycle. It's why it's called a calendar. It repeats over and over.
Yeah, I think that hit the nail right on the head, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think all three of us brought all three different points, and they're all correct, and they're all right, and I like that, and that's how I like to do this. So I guess I have to bring something, or you want to continue with 2012? I think we done.
Well, and just other things about it, like some Planet X or the other, whatever it's called, is supposed to collide. Yeah, look up in the sky. If it was heading here by now, we could see it. And the whole, like, the sun ray things,
Solar flares.
Solar flares, thank you. The whole thing.
No. Well, I mean,
the whole thing with that is that
kill us. They're small things.
Well, the reason why it's so big is because we have so many like electronic devices now. That's why it's such a worry. Mm-hmm. Because it affects
the electronic devices.
Yes.
Well, no.
And plus,
kill us, but it's our atmosphere takes care of a lot of it.
Well, yeah, and plus, yeah, and they're always talking about how it's like getting to a high peak, but it does that like every like 11 years or so. It gets to like this. These solar flares. Yeah. It gets. I don't quite know because I mean I just kind of
they go out kind of arcing type shapes. Well, yeah, they can get to the Earth within.
They get high. They get real high and expand.
Well, they get really high.
But like I said, like it reaches a high point every 11 years or so, and guess what? We're still here.
I don't know about the 11 years, but well, we're eventually fucked anyways. At least the Earth is, because of course the sun's expanding.
Well, but yeah, and that's just it. When it happens, it's gonna happen. It's like I tell people about global warming. When it happens, it happens.
Billions of years. So.
Yeah, no, it's not happening now, not at all. But
what I don't understand is why people worry about the Earth so much. It's like things are changing.
No, I love that.
The Earth changes. It's been changing.
Like those old science fiction shows where it's like we gotta go explore Earth. I mean the other planets like Star Trek and stuff. You remember how they'd always go to other planets to like see aliens and stuff? It's like, and we're traveling away from Earth. Earth was never in danger in those shows, but I just imagine that one day someone's gonna be like, we should all go to space and live on another planet, and we'll all be safe. It's like, no, eventually that planet will just get destroyed too.
But we'd have a longer time.
Yeah, you'd have a lot longer time, but
I think eventually we will make Mars habitable if it matters how long the human race goes on. But I mean, another 1,000 years, I have no doubt we'll have people on Mars. Now 1,000 years, definitely.
And I'm gonna live to see it.
Unless we revert backwards, unless things that promote ignorance, like not granting people of all races, all nationalities, all genders, all sexual preferences, equal rights. Unless every single person, as long as they're not harming anyone else, like pedophiles, fuck pedophiles. As long as they're not doing anything like that, as long as we make everybody equal except pedophiles, then the world will be a better place, and we'll advance towards understanding and knowing more about everything. Like, science is what should be most important. Science and equality and peace. And the general welfare for everybody, because we decide what money is, and we can stop fucking people over.
So, Catholic priests would never have rights?
Fuck Catholic priests. Catholic priests are horrible, horrible people for the most part. And it's not just a minority anymore. There's hundreds and now thousands of cases of sexual abuse.
I'm angry because you called them people.
I'm sorry, these demons. Okay, you're right on one thing, Christians are demons. They're called Catholic priests.
Yep.
And then the Pope, why is he behind bulletproof glass? If he has so much faith that he's chosen. And he's a Nazi youth, too. He used to be a Nazi. And his name's not Benedict, it's Joseph Ratzinger, something like that.
I don't know.
Ratzinger. I'm gonna say that because it sounds worse.
Honestly, we got off topic again. But putting it simply, eventually this universe is going to implode upon itself, and we're going to have a whole nother set of physical laws. Like the laws of physics, from what I can tell, will eventually change.
No.
I mean, because they changed when the Big Bang Theory happened. That's the idea.
Not necessarily.
Well, I said the Big Bang Theory.
TV show.
Yeah.
When the TV show The Big Bang Theory came on TV,
The laws of
changed.
comedy just changed. Now you could just act stupid.
Yes, everything changed. You can have that fucking kid from Roseanne. Now he's grown up and wears glasses and he's funny.
When did that happen?
Don't know.
But yeah, so I think one day the loss of innocence will happen, but it's not going to happen while humans are alive. So
I mean, possibly, but they probably stay the same in this universe. But I do believe there's other universes, because why not?
I mean,
our understanding of the world, it constantly has been expanding since the beginning of everything. Like at first, we thought that the only things are things around us, and eventually we started to discover our other continents and other oceans. Then we discovered that we have a whole entire world, this big fucking Earth, and in between that, of course, we're discovering the stars and find out little bits about them. But eventually, we discovered we have a solar system. Then we have a galaxy, and then there's tons of galaxies. There's a whole universe full of billions of galaxies.
this is the cosmos.
Why not? Why not something bigger than that? Why not just the universe is one bubble and a foam of universe?
I think the Whitest Kids You Know show got it perfectly right when they we're gonna reach the edge of space now, and they get outside of space, and suddenly they're just in this land where cats and stuff are just flying across the sky. It's completely random. One of the guy's eyeballs are just sticking out of his head. He's already dead, but yet they're still alive. And as soon as they get into regular space again, they're dead. It's
That makes perfect sense, actually.
Alright, well, anyway, this whole 2012 thing, not gonna happen.
not gonna happen, and the movie shouldn't have happened. Sorry, I had to say it.
John Cusack.
Did you like the movie, Caleb? I didn't see all of it, but it just...
I saw John Cusack.
It was okay.
I have this thing about me where I can't suspend my disbelief. Tarantino does it for me, but with this movie, they're flying a plane out of smoke. Now, smoke. If the smoke is coming toward them, then it has to be pulling them in, right? They go into the smoke, and then suddenly they're outrunning this thing that was going faster than 5 seconds ago. I don't know, it was stupid to me. But, that being said, I didn't finish the movie. It could have gotten good at some point.
The whole point of the movie was, and, sorry if none of y'all have seen it, but thing is, the Chinese built, these 3 big, huge boats, and basically, the whole world is just flooded, and, they gotta wait until, the water goes down, and then they, start a civilization again in, no. They started in, some place in South Africa.
Oh.
New Cape or something.
Oh. I think that's where Eve was found. I'm joking. Okay, so 2012 is bullshit. I guess I need to come up with my thing now. Oh, okay. Of course, my thing is going to be nerdy.
What's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution? To get rid of this gut right here.
Tune your guitar.
No, I'll never do
Hey,
that.
I've done that 5 times already.
That's
and he never keeps it. He always gotta mess with it.
Do you mess with these, or does it just go out of tune by itself?
It just goes out. Those strings suck.
If they're too
really
old or
old
if they're too new, your strings blow out.
They're really old.
Mine are really new, and they go out of tune.
Those strings have been on there since 2004.
Well,
Mine go flat. What do yours do?
Alright, well, with you, if you say your strings are brand new, what the thing?
They're a little bit sharper.
No, what your problem is that if they're brand new, you're just going to have to keep retuning them every once in a while, just getting them tighter because you're still trying to break them in.
Because you want it tight.
It's really fucking awesome. It has a tuner built in, so I can just press the button and turn it right there. Yeah. I love that. It's one of the best things ever to put on a guitar.
But yeah, his are just old because I was playing it earlier. Can't even. It's hard on your fingers just to slide down. I mean, I've build up calluses, but it still hurts.
Rob Reiner.
Okay, I got it. What movie? This is going to be kind of random. I was going to first start off because I had to go to a beauty pageant today, and I kind of wanted to rant about beauty pageants, but since I don't think these guys have ever gone to any,
no,
I'll just have to change the subject. So, something I'm just coming off with right off the top of my head right now. What do you think the future cult classic movie that's come out in 2011 will be? Or in the past few years, what do you think the new cult classic movie will be? I would say Pat is the authority on this. What movie has come out in the past few years do you think will become a cult classic?
Well, I mean, there could be multiple ones, and I mean, we can't say we're certain because sometimes cult classics, it's like 5 years later it becomes a cult classic, or like as soon as it comes on DVD it becomes a cult classic, or in theaters it kind of does. But I don't know.
Well,
Donnie Darko is a great cult classic. Go watch that.
That reminds me too much of a
Donnie
David
Darko's
Lynch movie.
Awesome.
It's too much like a David Lynch movie.
I actually haven't seen much David Lynch.
Have you seen the director's cut of Donnie Darko? I heard it just reveals all the plot points to you, like right off the bat.
I mean, I don't know. It gives you more information, I guess. Some of it's a little bit useless, like extra stuff, but it's all still very confusing to understand exactly what he's trying to say about like alternate universes and parallel universes and one collapsing and one breaking off. Yeah. It's all extremely confusing.
Source code.
What the fuck is what was the director? Paul Kelly, something Kelly, Richard Kelly. Yeah. It was very confusing what Richard Kelly was trying to say, but yeah, Donnie Darko's a good movie. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know about any reason.
I'm sorry, this is a really bad subject to bring up. I'm going to change it, but I just say this: I think Source Code will become a cult classic.
Never seen it.
I really do. It's so trite. It's so overdone, and yet it's still really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the movie Blade Runner. Nothing happens. One of my favorite movies. Yeah. I mean, I know that I have bad taste in movies. I don't like action movies, but that really got me. So, okay, I'll go to a subject that we can talk about. I'm translating Super Robot Wars 4. How many of you think that translating is shit? You should all say yes right now.
Shit as in boring and a waste of time?
It's not a waste of time, but you...
For me, it would be.
And you, Kelly?
We all limited time.
Okay. What I'm ultimately coming up with is I'm translating Super Robot Wars 4, and I'm translating it for somebody else because I can pretty much play the game without translating it. But for some reason, I feel this need to translate it.
What are you translating it for?
Just anybody who wants to play it. I can play it just fine without it being translated, but I feel like there are so many people out here that have missed out on the joy of those games that I got to get it out there for them to play it. And it's like this. I grew up on mecha shows.
He wants to get in someone's pants.
Mm-hmm. No, because I don't see. Why would I translate something to get in a girl's pants?
I don't know. You're just weird like that.
There's this really nerdy girl out there with braces and like the retainer that like sticks out of their mouth like that, the big metal rod. And I was like, Chris, would you translate Super Robot Wars 4? Her voice just changes back to normal after she's done spitting in my face. And then when she, I don't know.
Really like on a Family Guy, like, someone's calling me. Or like,
I don't
takes the
remember that
retainer
part
out
of
and the
Family
voice
Guy.
gets all deep and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up for a second. Hello?
Walk outside the door. Put this simply. Super Robot Wars 4. And I should have come up with a better question. I had one. I didn't want to use it. So, put simply, how many of you think Super Robot Wars 4 is translating it is pointless? How many of you think translating is pointless? Apparently all of you do. But Caleb, you watch fan subs. You are I watch fan subs.
Fan subs?
Yeah, you know, those little subtitled videos you watch online for anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are illegal, Caleb. But it's the only way to watch some shows, so.
So?
It's like, so? You know how much I had to pay for my Ava DVDs? I felt raped, and yet it became my favorite show ever. So put simply, I love mecha shows. Mecha shows are great. Super Robot Wars can't come to America because it's never going to get licensed. I'm translating it. Patrick thought it was a waste of time. I didn't actually ask Caleb, so I felt bad about it. What do you think?
Waste of time.
Waste of time, okay. But because Patrick's not back in the room yet, did you like Super Robot Wars 3 when you saw my plan? Do you think it looked interesting?
Well, it seemed interesting, just like that. It just looks like one of them strategy RPGs, which I'm just not a whole big fan of, just because I'm not like all into strategy. Like, I'm into it to a certain point, but not really. But it just seems like one of them games you just have to think about a lot.
So in other words, you can't just hit buttons and have fun to play it.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely. I understand. But that being said, I will tell you something about that game. It's actually less of a strategy RPG than you might think. And what I mean by that is, you can pretty much just run straight up on enemies, and if you're stronger, you win. Like, really. So, okay. We kind of run over time with this show. So,
Way over time.
And we have... Are we going to be able to do band practice, Patrick?
No.
What time is it?
9:48?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so let's
hour.
finish the podcast right here. Okay, guys. Where can...
2.
No, wait, get back over here. We're not done. We got to say something.
2.
Where can we get you? If someone needs to get a hold of you, where can they get a hold of you at, Patrick?
Nowhere. I don't want any of you people getting a hold of me.
That's an insult to our fans. Okay.
Well, like I said, he's not really part of the group.
Yeah, this insult him. That's why he's not in KAS. Okay, I'm
the
joking.
bodyguard. Yeah.
Okay.
I punch a bag that's no harm to y'all.
Caleb, where can we get a hold of you at?
The Pharaoh's Armada.
And that's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess for me, you can get a hold of me. I'm Kyosho1902 at YouTube, and that's my channel. And I do Let's Plays, and every once in a while, thoughts videos. Patrick almost tripped. I also have a Facebook page, Christopher Swain. If you're going to add me, be sure to specify that you're adding me because of KAS, because that makes it easier for me to keep in contact with you about when new shows come out. Lastly, I am coming up with a Twitter page, and so if you go on to either of my channels, I will have that up pretty soon.
Tweet.
I'll be updating about every day about everything that I do, because I'm lame like that. So, it's been a pleasure having y'all watch our video. Hopefully you'll watch more, and this is the KAS Podcast, signing out.
How many brothers fell victim to the street? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for you. Be alive if I told you that I never thought of that. My niggas, we the last ones left. But life goes